Smackdown Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Smackdown, Raw, and or PLEs. And if they bring back WCW Thunder, I'm not doing that. No way. That show sucked. Oh my gosh, that show sucked. I'll watch the highlights. But let's get to your hot takes. We got Sky Wonder Wolf, the last real champ. John Cena is speaking facts. All right. Roman Reigns acknowledged me. Randy's promo against Cena was amazing. Yeah, both of them. Let's keep going. Both of them had a good back and forth. Phenomenal Wolf. Another Wolf. Randy should be the one to take the title from John. Doesn't mean it had to be a Backlash, but no one else should be the one to take the belt from John. It would be fitting, as Randy said, they have 25 years together, so it would be kind of cool if it was Randy. I'm thinking it's Cody, but you never know. Cam Nami, while I know Cena is going to win, I want Randy to punch some sense into him. You know what? Honestly, what if Randy won at Backlash, got his 15th title, punt kicked John Cena. John Cena goes out until Money in the Bank, a surprise entrant, win the briefcase and cashes in and get his 18th title win. How about that? That would shake things up. John Cena can even brag even further, saying, I'm just racking up the score at this point. And then it's OTW. That promo between Randy and John has already made the feud better than Cody versus John. I agree with you. I'm way more invested in this feud already. Just 2 episodes than the entire Cody-John feud. Now, yeah, of course I was interested when John, turned heel, but it went downhill quick, and this one is just skyrocketing quick, and it's because you don't know. Are they going to fight? Are they going to be friends? Are they going to be friendly? Are they going to be attacking each other? You don't know. There's definitely an element of they're familiar with each other. I'm familiar with them together because I've been watching wrestling since WrestleMania 5. So 25 years ago when they met, I was watching wrestling then. I've seen their first feud and now I'm seeing their last feud. And I'm just like, maybe nostalgia is playing a part in why I'm so captivated by this. But there seems to be just the way they talk to each other is way more entertaining than the way Cody and John were talking to each other. And then he goes on to say, not Cody's fault though, The Rock involved himself in a storyline he had no intentions of showing up for. And that's a fair statement as well. We don't know how this would have played out if John would have turned heel at Elimination Chamber. Now, granted, I'm hearing that it was John who wanted to turn heel there, but it seems like it would have been more logical if The Rock just had not shown up, or maybe if The Rock had just shown up to rock bottom somebody and leave, but had The Rock not shown up, and then we could have had kind of that lame face versus face feud walking into WrestleMania, and then John Cena turns heel at WrestleMania. And yeah, I think that would have been way better for Cena and Cody. So maybe that lackluster build going into Mania, not really Cody's fault. That said, I'm still more interested in Randy versus John. And are you interested in this title on my shoulder right here? This is the $1 million belt. Money, 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 money. Everybody's got a price for the $1 million man. And do you have a price for your subscription to this channel? Because I will give away this belt to pay said price. All you gotta do is comment below and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell, ding, 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 notification with a thumbs up, and I'll give away a belt at 20,000 subscribers. Now, I'm not going to give away every belt I've ever shown you at 20,000 subscribers. The winner gets to pick whatever belt they want. And then at 30,000 subscribers, I'll run the contest again. So we're going to give away lots of belts on this channel. Every 10,000 subscribers, I give away a belt. So hook it up, please, and comment below. I'm trying to quit the day job. That's why I give away the belt. Trying to follow the dream, the passion of producing wrestling content full time. Plus, I love you beautiful people. Armani Goodwin says, I miss Vince McMahon. We need that wow factor back in WWE. Triple H feels boring to me. Woo, that is a hot take. And I understand what you're saying, actually, even. But for the most part, I'm happy with Triple H, more so than I was with the tail end of Vince McMahon's creativity. Because if you go back, Vince had some really horrible ideas towards the end. Bobby Lashley, Lana, anybody, that was atrocious. But he did start the bloodline, which is great. So I'm not saying that Vince sucked, because Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, Golden Age, rock and roll wrestling, Vince was a genius. But towards the end, not so much, or he was kind of a little maybe out of touch. Triple H is a little too safe. I do agree there, but we can see that Triple H has it in him. Raw was a perfect example of just craziness. And maybe this whole Rock thing threw everything, WrestleMania 41 into like chaos, but hopefully we just onward and upward. Maybe Rock got his feelings hurt, and now he's not going to touch the WWE for a long time. And maybe Triple H, even though he says we don't exist, he's listening. He's definitely listening to us. And I hope that Triple H can take the criticisms and not just get personally attacked by them, but look at them fairly. Some are going to be bupkis, and some are going to be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I do play it a little too safe. And hopefully we can get a more well-rounded storytelling of Triple H, because his long-term storytelling, it works like it did with the Bloodline, but sometimes it doesn't work, like Cody Rhodes. Do I want Vince McMahon back? While I do miss elements of Vince McMahon's booking, I don't want him back overall. And if I can find a clip, Sami Zayn actually says it very, very appropriately. And I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll put it in here.
I think things were a lot more unpredictable because of the nature of Vince's like week-to-week kind of approach. I could have just slipped on a banana peel, won the world title, you know what I mean? Whereas with Hunter, I think it's much more longer-term vision. If you're not part of that vision, then the chances of like breaking into that vision are much slimmer.
Raphael at air, I will never forgive the injustice done to the Smackdown Tag Team division. That awesome match deserves to be in WrestleMania 41, not the boring New Day and the War Raiders. Yeah. I'm very happy. I'm very happy for Kofi and Xavier Woods and the War Raiders to have a match at WrestleMania. Good for you guys. However, my sneaking suspicion is they didn't want that TLC match to overshadow the other triple threats, which I think is a fallacy. I think you should just have all your good matches and you just see who can outdo the other. That's what makes people hungry. You don't pull back talent in order to elevate other talent. For the most part, there are exceptions. But for real, if there's a good reason for 3 storylines to have 3 triple threats, then that's good enough to be on WrestleMania. We didn't need to hold back, right? We could have had the card the same exact way, but just put the TLC right before the main event of night 2. Because for good or bad, they purposely made that night 2 main event suck, so give us the TLC right before it, and that would have been enough time in between the Bianca Io Rhea match, and we would have had, the palate would have been cleansed by then. It should have been on the card. Number 2, the U.S. division is going to cook one of the finest dishes of the year. Mwah! I added the mwah. How do you spell moi? I think it's M-U-moi, M-U-H-U-A? I don't know, W? Comment below how to spell moi. But then, why would I continue on that course? One of the finest dishes of the year with Fatu as champion. Fatu is definitely having the longest exciting U.S. title reign ever. A fatal 4-way is loading. Yeah, they probably should just have Jacob Fatu hold that title for the longest ever, because like, if the main event scene is so stacked, let's not put Jacob Fatu in there to just lose. Let him just dominate. Let him pull a crazy man's Gunther with the U.S. title and just hold it forever. Number 3, John and Randy didn't disappoint, but dang Cena, a lot of fathers owe you an apology for saying Cena sucks when you were busy raising their kids. Well, when I was saying John Cena sucks, I didn't have kids. I had kids after I started appreciating John Cena. So, but I'll still give you an apology, John. I didn't know it was hurting your feelings so much. John Cena, I apologize. Jimbo Slice, Aleister Black, Damian Priest, and Baron Corbin would have been an insane faction. Maybe. I don't like Baron Corbin. He goes by Bishop Dyer now. I mean, as a human being, he's fine, but like, I never ever liked Bishop Corbin. Baron Corbin. I didn't like when he was the lone wolf. I didn't like when he was happy. When he was broke, it was kind of funny. But for the most part, I didn't like his character when he was broke. I didn't like Lucky Corbin, any Corbin. The Commissioner Corbin. Whew, boy, I have flashbacks of Commissioner Corbin, or no, wait, was he the sheriff? He was something, constable? He was something in 2017, 18, 19. God, I hated Baron Corbin, but maybe it would have been a good faction, but I don't think I can enjoy anything that Baron Corbin was in, and talented wrestler, and a lot of people on the internet say that he was great, and he doesn't get his proper dues, but I don't think he'll get his proper dues on this channel, to be honest with you. I just did not enjoy him as a character. As a human being, he's fine, though. Jimbo Slice also says, Jacob Fatu needs some West Coast hip-hop as a theme, and I swear you would see Aura on a different level. Yeah, I think I could get behind that, actually. I think it'd be very unique for Jacob, too, to have that. So, I wouldn't mind. I think it would be appropriate for Jacob to have some hip-hop. Bishop Marley, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Motor City Machine Guns won me over in that TLC match. Historically speaking, on this channel, Bishop Marley has said that they're the Motor City Machine Bums. He has not liked them. They were being aggressive and really healing it up. Looking forward to see more of that from them. Yes, this was the coming out party of the Motor City Machine Guns. Yes, they lost, but they actually had personality in the match. And that's the thing. We just needed some time to get acclimated to the Machine Guns, to get to know the Machine Guns. You shouldn't have hot-shotted the titles on them. Granted, they were trying something new, so I'm okay with it. However, I hope we never do that again, because it did not work, and it is only now, like half a year later, that we are starting to really be like, you know what? There's something behind these Motor City Machine Guns. So I am happy that they are actually starting to come into their own. Pro Gamer RKO, I think the way they introduced Aleister Black was kind of weak, given the fact that Miz just cut a great promo and then got dogged by it. Yeah, it feels like this should not have been Aleister's big moment, because the Miz is no longer a character that if you just shut him up, the crowd is going to love you, because now the crowd actually does kind of respect the Miz, and he was only speaking the truth. So yeah, this was more of a miss than anything, but I don't think it hurt Aleister Black either. But if this leads to a feud between Carmelo Hayes and Aleister Black, where Black is going to win, then I will actually be kind of upset, and I think they should go a different route. Damian King, Cena versus Orton as a 20-year-old is going to be wild. I'm not sure if that means you're 20 years old or this feud is 20 years old, because to me, well, I guess both statements are wild, because I did see, how old was I? If it was, this feud has been going on 25 years. I mean, I was in my 20s when this feud was going on, and I remember that match where Randy Orton slapped the referee in order to get himself intentionally disqualified. I was so mad. That was the main event of a pay-per-view, and they're slapping the referee to throw the match out right before WrestleMania. I'm like, what? I was so mad that was such a crappy finish. Randy Orton just slaps a referee so he gets disqualified. That was the main event of a PLE leading into WrestleMania 24. But yeah, it's crazy. Regardless, whether you look at it one way or another, if you're 20 years old and you're seeing this feud happened 20 years ago. So it's amazing that you get to see it. Or if you're watching from a 45-year-old's perspective and you get to see this feud one last time, it's amazing and crazy that we get to see it. Cam Nami should have been a better build for Zelina win. Both her and Chelsea deserve better. They actually had an okay build in that. Zelina beat her twice before this match. So I would say it was an okay build, but I don't think it really presented Chelsea and really accentuated her attributes. Like, she is such a comedic character. We could have done a lot more. When Chelsea and Meacham were having a feud, like, it was a dumpster match, and for like a week or two, Chelsea was having vignettes at a dumpster. We could have done a couple of these things, and we could have drew this feud out a little longer. It would have been great for a PLE match, but not even a PLE match. Just have vignettes, and maybe in a week or two, Zelina Vega could have won it. Just, you know, we have all this time to kill. My yawn counter, I have a yawn counter on my Smackdown reviews. It was 16 yesterday, so maybe have some vignettes here and there to wake us up. And then Zelina could have won, because I don't think there's really a rush to get that title on Zelina. Just 2 more weeks with 4 vignettes. That would have been great with Chelsea. Donatello Leonardo, hot take, Drew, Damian, Jacob, and LA Knight fighting are more interesting than what's going on in the SmackDown main event scene. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the SmackDown main event scene is right now. I have no clue what's going on in the SmackDown main event. I don't know if John Cena is a SmackDown guy or a Raw guy. I mean, I know Jey Uso is a Raw guy, so that by default, John Cena should be SmackDown guy, but he's on Raw more than SmackDown. He was on SmackDown tonight. There is no mention of where Cody is. I'm assuming he's sad and crying somewhere with Scout, his dog. Is that his name, Scout? And then, you know, good for him, you know. But it's like, if Drew is now back in the mid-card, who's in the main event? Is it just Randy Orton? Is Randy Orton and John Cena the only main event players right now? I have no clue. I have no clue what's happening at the SmackDown main event scene. Tis Mickey, why the heck is LA Knight still feuding for the U.S. Championship if they can take the IC off of Braun and move him up? Why can't they do that for LA Knight? That's a great question. No one wants to be known as just a 3-time U.S. champion. I mean, yeah, it's better than nothing, but I think LA Knight has made it pretty darn clear, and the crowd has as well, that he should be in the main event scene. And John Cena's a heel. We just said we don't know what's going on with the entire main event division. Bump up LA Knight and have him go after John Cena after this feud with Randy Orton. Okay, so LA Knight's going to lose the feud. Oh, no shame in losing to John Cena on his retirement tour. I would love to see LA Knight starting to cook John Cena. He could go toe-to-toe on that mic with him. And then what do we got? I'm so glad that my boys Fraxium on the main roster. It's about time. I agree. About time. Fraxium. That's the tag team with the guy with the mask and the guy without the mask. Honestly, though, I think they should have went to Raw, but I am happy for them. And then she said something else. Also, Ciampa looks like Paul Ellerling without the beard. You're right. I was like, man, he just shaved that beard. I think that was a bad call. It was a very unique beard. If you were afraid of the gray and showing your age, well, dude, just dye it. Just dye it, make it black. But yeah, you know what? He did kind of look like Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering being the manager of AOP with the Final Testament and also the Legion of Doom, Road Warriors back in the day. But you're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that, because I was like, I kept looking at him wondering who he looked like, and now I know it's Paul Ellery. Greasy, 2007, poor Chelsea losing to someone who makes the 619 look like a 196. Honestly, I don't know why. I don't think Zelina should use it, because it's Rey Mysterio's move and Rey is still there. I get why Dominic uses the move, because, like, you know, he steals everything and he's doing disrespect to his dad. But then again, Zelina has said that Rey is her mentor. I just don't like her using it for probably different reasons than you. I don't remember seeing a really bad Zelina Vega 619, but I guess I haven't really paid attention either. Rolanda Lynch, you can't shine up a turd. Oh gosh, this Aleister Black wasn't never over in WWE. Black wasn't over in AEW. Feed him and Rusev, so I guess Rusev's a turd also, to Jacob Fatu. Rusev, Black, and D.I.Y. can form the never overs. I'm sorry. I am not trying to be disrespectful, and I actually love Rusev, but that's funny. That's funny. Don't get so mad at a comment that because they made fun of your wrestler that you can't appreciate the humor. The Never Overs. Could you imagine a group called the Never Overs? Oh my God. I am not even going to comment. I like Rusev, and I'm actually starting to like D.I.Y, but I like him better with the beard. Aleister Black, he never actually did it for me. He actually never did it for me. He is a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman did see a lot of potential in him before he left, but the Never Overs. That is hilarious, Rolando Lynch. Keep bringing that energy to hot takes, please. Anthony Blakely, congratulations to the new champ, Zelina Vega, and I called Aleister Black coming back. Granted, it might have been obvious, and the history between Cena and Orton is making for a great match. Let's just hope that Paul can make this match better than Cody versus Cena. Paul Levesque, Triple H. Yeah, I think it will be. I think it will be. Now that the ever-looming shadow of is or is not The Rock going to come back and stick his nose in WWE's business, I think The Rock is just not coming back. Therefore, Triple H can do what he needs to do, and this is going to be solid. Randy and John will put on a banger. And side note, shame on you, Rock. Shame on you, Rock, for ruining the main event of WrestleMania. Don't come and start a storyline and say, nah, I don't need to be there to finish it. Streamer VOD God, the Wyatts are jobbers there. Never there. They're never booked properly, and it seems like Triple H has forgotten about them. Now, people will bring up that Bo Dallas is injured, but I don't necessarily buy that because even if Bo is injured, there's 3 other male wrestlers and 1 female wrestler in that faction. They could be doing other things while Bo Dallas either phones in like a bunch of vignettes, or if he's too injured for even that, they could just say that Bo Dallas, make a storyline out of it. Say Uncle Howdy is missing, and so now these 4 individuals have gone crazy in their attempt to look for Bo Dallas. And then one day Bo Dallas just returns and is like, Uncle Howdy just returns and brings them back. Say, don't worry, my sheep, your shepherd is back. Something like that. We could do stuff that could keep them in the mind of everybody. That said, they were actually, John Cena, R-Truth finally had a face-to-face, and that was cool in and of itself. Hopefully that either leads to a R-Truth comedic heel turn because John Cena turned heel, or John Cena beating the crap out of R-Truth so we could get heat. But in the background, the truck had the Wyatt 6 in the back. So I don't know, maybe that's a hint. Maybe VOD God, you have some hope. I don't know. Yuji Tadori, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. It's about time Zelina won her first singles title. It's been overdue for the longest. LOL, I feel like she can bring prestige back to the division. I think Chelsea actually brought prestige to that division. However, I am happy for Zelina Vega. Very, very happy for her. This is what the mid-card titles should do. They should allow talent to get a belt, to get some shine without necessarily having to be on the in the main spotlight of the main event scene of the women's division. This will help because it can showcase who can hang with a title and who cannot. I think Chelsea definitely hung. I wouldn't mind if she could now go to face off against Tiffany, maybe after Backlash. Jordan Alexander, Cody should have stayed in AEW. I know I sound like a hypocrite because I like Cody, but this guy bashed the company and came back running back because he wanted money and got booed so hard his poor soul couldn't take it. He created something he couldn't control, thus he is not worthy of the cheers. I don't even know. That's like a video onto itself right there, Jordan Alexander, but it is a hot take. I think on some level, I think no matter what Cody did in his life, he was always determined to just, whatever he was doing was to just prove the naysayers wrong in WWE. I think his goal on some level, whether he knew it or not, was to come back and win the WWE Championship, the big title for his dad. I think that finish your story little phrase of his wasn't just a catchphrase. I think that was actually something that he felt that he had to do. So, but could you imagine if he went back to AEW now because he's getting boos in WWE? Would the AEW fans accept him, or would he just go full Codelander? Zay Studios, Fraxium should have debuted on Raw. I feel like SmackDown already has a stacked tag team roster. Fraxium is just adding to it. 100%. That TLC was so freaking good. We don't need another tag team right now. Those three can feud for a whole year if they play their cards right, just like they did with Hardy's, Edge, Christian, and Dudley's right now, because that match was so good, and I hope a lot of people saw how good Angelo Dawkins was in that match. In my opinion, Angelo Dawkins might have been the MVP of that match. I know Montez Ford gets all the glory because he's so, like, you know, his personality is so great, and I'm not taking anything away from Montez Ford, please understand me, but I feel like we need more people supporting Angelo Dawkins than they currently do. Negligence, talking about the TLC match, holy crap, the high spots, the drama. I don't know if it was just me, but I was on the edge of my seat, seeing all the teams climbing up the ladder at the end. It was not you. We were all on the edge of our seats. That was a banger of a match, and all three should be proud. From Armani Goodwin again, the SmackDown after Mania was almost no hype except Black's return. The TLC match was good also, but it was not. This SmackDown was not as good as Raw, but that Raw was one of the best Raws I've ever seen. And our final hot take, Hood fired Josh. Honestly, I think it's time for LA Knight to move up the card. He's been in the mid-card for so long and has the biggest pops and charisma. I think Triple H doesn't know what to do with him. Yeah, I think, if only LA Knight had moved on to the main roster 2 years sooner. It's like, it's kind of like I said earlier, LA Knight is getting punished because he's so good, and they don't want him to take away from other people. And like how I said that this triple threat, this TLC match would have taken away from other matches at WrestleMania, but I think that's such a garbage way of looking at things. You bring the talent to the table and you see who survives. Put LA Knight in that main event scene permanently and see who survives. If Cody can't survive next to LA Knight, well then Cody needs to move down the card. Vice versa. If LA Knight can't survive in the main event scene, well, then he needs to go back down the card. It's not a Cody thing. Same with Roman. If Roman can't survive against LA Knight, then Roman needs to move down the card. Roman survived, but you get what I'm saying? And so those are your hot takes for Friday Night SmackDown, the SmackDown after Mania. Here we come, WrestleMania 42. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day.